Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be kind of an impromptu get ready with me, hang out, chatty. I'm going to talk to you guys as much as I can while doing makeup. I haven't done one of these in quite a while and I have had a couple of requests to do one or two and it's just a pain in the butt. I'm sure if you guys watch these get ready with me's, you hear every YouTuber say it's a pain in the butt. It takes forever to edit these videos because it's hard to talk and put on makeup at the same time. And if I just left it uncut, it would probably be 2 hours of me just rambling like an idiot. So I try to edit the parts out that make me look particularly that and try and shine the best light on myself as possible. But the kids are out of the house with my husband. I have the house to myself. It's just me and Kitty hanging out here this afternoon. I just woke up from a lovely nap. I have a 3-day weekend. Happy Memorial Day to all of you celebrating. And I figured, who knows when I'll have another chance to do this. So just put the camera on and start filming and just do it. Just do it. That's my motto. Just do it. So I do have a little something on my face already. I woke up at about 6:30 this morning and put on my cream makeup to take the kids to Ninja, and I never had time to do anything more. My goal is always to have a full face of makeup before I leave the house, but I ran out of time, and so I didn't get a chance to put on any powder products. So I have on my primer, my BB cream, my color correctors, my concealers, my cream bronzer, my cream blush, and my cream highlighter. And so that's where we're starting off from. So I'm gonna add a little bit more concealer around my nose area with this Laura Mercier concealer, the Secret Camouflage Concealer in SC3. This is in Project 10 Uses, to just kind of touch up because, like I said, it's like 2:30. So it's been a long time since I put that cream makeup on, and I'm always messing with my nose like most people. This is that product that was kind of cracked, and I'm happy to report that if I just kind of rest my finger on there for a few seconds and then just start gently massaging it, I can pick up product. I'm gonna scoot you guys in a little closer too. So I hope you guys are doing well. I've mentioned this in a few videos, but it's not the most sane time of year for me. It's a little crazy. I have 2 more weeks of the school year left, and I'm beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. My kids only have 1 more week of school, so they're happy about that. And somehow, whether I intended to or not, I have become a sports mom, and all of my day is spent carting my kids around to sporting events where I end up just sitting on my butt in like bleacher style seating and watching my kids do sports until I'm numb and my butt is tingly. So right now, Ron and Hazel, did I just hit pan? Are you freaking kidding me? I think I just hit pan on the big shade. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I did not see that coming. This is kind of shallow. I was expecting there to be a lot more product in there. I can't believe it. You see that little bit of pan there? Right there? That's crazy. I'll take a picture of that and post it on Instagram later. So both my kids are on the swim team. We have a local swim club for children, I think ages 6 to 18. And so they do it by age group. So Hazel is an 8 and under swimmer, and my son Ron is a 10 and under swimmer. This is Ron's 3rd season of being on the swim team. Basically, a season is 6 months long, and it's year round. It never ends. I've never experienced a sport. I was not in team sports until I got to high school. And in high school, sports seasons are 3 months long, not year round. So this is a very new experience to me. I'm going in with my brow pomade, my Kat Von D. I'm trying to keep the heart going. It's gotten a little bit bigger, but the heart is still there. And I'm gonna need a mirror. But yeah, this is Ron's third season of being on the swim team, so a year and a half. And this is Hazel's second season. I didn't put her on the team the first year because I thought it was too much for her. By the way, did I mention that practices are 5 days a week? Like every other sport that kids do out there, practices are like 1 day a week. Not swimming. It's 5 days a week. This is an intense lifestyle that we are living over here for the swimming business. Now, I was a swimmer in high school. I wasn't like the best or anything, but I loved it. And I think it's a really good sport. I think it's a really healthy sport. I don't think it's for everyone, obviously, but if you can do it, I think it's a good sport. And so both my kids are little fish and they just love being in the water. So we started out with lessons just once a week, and then it just kind of progressed from there. And before I know it, both my kids are swimming 5 days a week on the swim team, and they're competing against other children in the local area, and they're winning medals and ribbons and learning how to compete and learning how to be good sports. And that's become my life. That's a big chunk of my life right now. And I love watching them swim. I love watching them get better. I love watching their times go down. I think my eyebrows are a little squirrely. I wonder what I was doing while I was napping. Oh my gosh. What is going on with that eyebrow? Ron is actually doing so good that it's looking positive for him to make regionals this season, which he's never done before. There are time cuts that kids have to make to qualify for regionals. And then if they do really good, they could qualify for state. And last season, Ron was like 4 seconds away on his best event from qualifying for regionals. And they're timing the kids on Fridays and practices. And he's pretty consistently making the regional cut in practices. So I actually think he might be going to regionals this season, which is super exciting. Hazel's nowhere near there. She kind of plays a lot in practice. She's a silly little 7-year-old, you know, but she's learning and she likes it. And so I try not to get too frustrated when I know she could be doing so much better, because I don't want her to hate it. But because it's spring, Hazel also decided to join the softball team. Now, she did t-ball 2 years ago for the first time, and she really liked it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I think she's going to be into this whole like baseball, because we tried baseball with Ron for like 3 years. He did t-ball, rookie B, and then rookie A. And by the time he did a rookie A season, we both just agreed, like, dude, this isn't your sport. You're just in it for the concession stand and the trophy, and we need to stop doing this to each other, because he hated it. Every practice, every great game, it was like tears and I don't want to go. And, you know, me saying, well, we paid for it, so you got to do it. I'm going to prime my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. So then I was like, okay, well, Ron's not into baseball, but maybe Hazel will do this. Not that I care, but, you know, it's a big thing in our community, like it is in a lot of communities. Baseball is just huge, and like it's I don't want to say it's like a social thing, but it's kind of a social thing, you know, like if I want to know where all my neighbors and friends are hanging out on the weekends, it's at the baseball field. It's kind of like where people are at. So as much as I don't want to push my kids into doing something they don't want to do, I really loved doing the baseball season, because, you know, you're outside with all your friends and neighbors hanging out and watching the kids play, and it's a lot of fun. I'm going to set my under eyes with this Lancome powder. So then last year, I assumed Hazel was going to keep doing baseball, but then she was like, no, I want to do tennis. And she totally shifted gears. Now, the truth is, she could have done baseball and tennis, but at the time, I was just so overwhelmed with life, like I always am at this time of year, that I was like, you need to choose one. I'm not going to sign you up for every sport there is under the sun. Pick one. And she chose tennis. So after the school year got out, I signed her up for some tennis classes at our local park district, and she loved tennis too. She loves everything. Hazel she's not particularly good at anything, but she loves everything and she has a lot of fun doing it. And she's like, she just wants to do everything. And so I signed her up for tennis, and there was no like competition. It was just like a tennis class 4 days a week, I think. And she loved it. And I thought, okay, I guess the softball thing isn't going to pan out. I guess she's not as into it as I thought she was. So I literally gave away all of the baseball and softball stuff we had on our local Buy Nothing group just to get it out of the house. And then this year, Hazel was like, I want to do softball again. And I was like, crap. So I had to rebuy everything, which is why I'm a hoarder. You have to appreciate the irony. The one time I actually get rid of something, I need it. It's killing me. So I had to rebuy everything. I had to spend like $375 at Dick's. I didn't have to. I probably could have found some good used stuff at Play It Again. But I ended up having to buy her a new helmet, a new bat, a new glove, a new bag, and a face mask, because they wear these little like face shields in softball. The boys don't wear face shields, they wear cups, but the girls wear face shields. That's what I've heard. Same brush. Now I'm gonna take my little setting powder from my face. So I bought all new stuff, and now she's doing softball too. So in addition to swimming, she's now only swimming 3 days a week. Before she was swimming 4 days a week. Now she's only swimming 3 days a week, which is fine. She's only, it's fine. But now she's got 1 softball practice and 1 or 2 softball games a week. And she's actually really good at softball. I know I just got done saying she's not particularly good at any sport, but softball is kind of her thing. And out of my 2 kids, like Hazel's definitely the social butterfly of the 2. Like Ron's perfectly content sitting on the couch, reading or playing a video game or, hanging out with me. Whereas Hazel, like the second she gets done with school, she wants to go find a friend and go play. Like she needs social interaction. So as far as sports goes, Ron's pretty good with swimming, because a lot of times it's kind of like, your head's under the water, you're not really talking. You get a few minutes break in between sets of swimming where you can goof off with your friends, but really he's just kind of, even then, he's not really hanging out with his friends and talking. Like they're playing around and he's just kind of sitting there by himself. Whereas Hazel is talking to anybody and everybody who will hang out with her. So softball is just so perfect because the girls get to hang out in the dugout and they're chanting like for their teammates, or they're chanting against their opponents, and it's just such a more social sport, and Hazel seems to really thrive with a social atmosphere. So in addition to it being a good social outlet for her, she's also a pretty good baseball player. She's not the most consistent hitter, but when she does get a hit, she gets a good hit. Like that ball goes flying. And her age range for Bantam B goes to 2nd grade. So she's got a whole nother year in her age range. And I think by next year, if she sticks with it, she's going to be really good. And she's just having so much fun. Like, I still remember Ron, like every practice and every game, just me like having to threaten him, like, you're going to practice. You're going to go to the game. You're a part of the team. They need you. You have to do it. I've paid for it. You're going. You said you wanted to do it. You're going to do it. And like having this conversation every time baseball came up. And with Hazel, I'm like, Hazel, it's time to go to practice. She's like, okay. And then after she gets done, she's like, that was so much fun. I loved it. I had so much fun. And I got to hang out with my friends. Like it's like, oh, this is what being a sports mom should be like. It's really nice, because it was just torture for Ron and for me the whole time. Next, I'm going to bronze with my Too Faced bronzer. I haven't hit pan on this yet. My goal is to hit pan on it. I have an update for this that I'm going to be filming right after I get done with this Get Ready With Me. But that video is probably going to go up first. But anyways, I'll probably mention it then too. But I discovered from a post on Instagram that these sample size pans do not have any rings. So I keep looking for the rings as a sign that I'm getting closer to hitting pan. And a couple people on Instagram were like, there are no rings. So I have no idea how close I am to hitting pan, but I'm hoping it's not too far away, because I wasn't expecting this product to take so long to hit pan on. So anyways, swimming and softball are taking over my life in the last 2 weeks of the school year. I have an intern who is a grad student from a local university. working with me for the last 3 months. And she's very, very good. She's going to be a good OT. I don't feel like she's given me more work to do. In fact, I feel like she's given me less work, which was the dream. Anytime we take on an intern, we're hopeful that they're going to be qualified enough to do the job or pick up the skills along the way that they make your life easier and not harder. And she's definitely that, but I forgot how hard it is to have somebody next to you all day long. It is exhausting and a little bit stressful. For blush, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution blush that I just rolled into my friend's project pan. This is my first time using it in a long time, and I've really missed it. Anyways, some of the things going through my head while I have this intern sitting next to me is like, am I talking enough? Am I talking too much? Am I giving her the information she's looking for to be a good student? Am I overwhelming her with information? Is she bored? Does she feel like I'm giving her too much work while I'm sitting there doing nothing? Like, just constantly second guessing myself. And then like the lunch breaks that we're given a 45-minute lunch break every day, which I used to use editing videos or responding to comments or watching a YouTube video for 20 minutes. I now do not have because I don't want her to see me playing with YouTube for 45 minutes. So, and I really didn't realize how much I cherished that 45-minute break of my day, and I really miss it. So basically I just have a little person by my side, and she is very tiny. Everybody thinks she's my daughter. Like, we're constantly stopped in the hallway and everybody's like, is that your daughter? And we're like, no. Even employees, it's not just kids, it's like adults that I work with asking me if that's my daughter. I'm like, no, I didn't bring my daughter to work with me. My daughter isn't in her 20s. I'm too young to have a 20-year-old. Not really. I'm not really too young, but I don't have a 20-year-old daughter. But yeah, she's a wonderful person and she's going to make a very good occupational therapist, but it has been exhausting to have her by my side day in and day out for the last 3 months. For highlighter, I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild. This has been great. I've been really having a lot of fun with this highlighter. I always think of it as something I need to be like really tan to pull off, but I haven't felt that way this time around. It is a bright one. It's a beaming highlighter, but it's okay. So one habit, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but one horrible habit that I've gotten into, and it's just wrecking me, is the kids have a bedtime, but because the swimming is so late. By the way, did I mention that for the swim practices, they're from 6 until 9 every night. So Hazel swims from 6 until 7, and then Ron swims from 7 until 9 p.m. In an ideal world, my kids would be getting ready for bed at 8:30 p.m. So the fact that Ron is working out in a pool until 9 and then getting home, then having a snack, then undressing and brushing his teeth and relaxing for 5 minutes, he's not getting to bed until 9:30 every night. So it's just a lot for him too. It's an exhausting situation, but the pool we use is at our local high school, and the high school has events with the pool all year long after school, so we can't have access to the pool. I'm putting on my Mary Kay eye base, by the way. That's about how much I push out for both eyes. So we can't have access to the pool until 6 p.m. because the high school is using it before that. Plus, in the community that I live in, myself and most of the parents are working parents, and we can't just get to the pool at, 3 p.m. That most of the parents aren't done with work until like 5 p.m. So 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock is a much better time for the parents too, because we are a community of working moms and working dads. So it's just a late night. So those 3 hours are the hours I would normally spend cooking, cleaning, watching TV, relaxing, and I don't have any of that time. Now I do relax at the pool, and I have a couple of swim moms that I'm very good friends with that I enjoy spending time with, and we hang out, and I have been reading books. I actually just finished a book. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Let me get it for you guys and I'll show it to you. So it's not like I'm not relaxing, but it's also not like I'm like curled up on my couch, you know, chilling. I'm sitting on bleachers. One thing I love about the swimming compared to the softball is that you always know it's going to be warm. Like on some of these softball practices and softball games, I have frozen my butt off this year. 2 games, I stood out in the rain, getting rained on. Not like 70-degree rain, like 45-degree rain. It was very chilly. One time it was, there were like snow flurries and hail at a game. I mean, it's just been crazy. So you can see, I mean, that silver could stand alone, but you know, I'm a project planner. Nothing can stand alone, but I think that's pretty. So the book I just finished is called The Nurse's Secret. It's got the sticker on it from my local library, but there it is right there. This was copyrighted in 2022, so it must have just come out last year. And I loved it. This is the first book I've read in quite a while. I can't even remember what the last book was that I read, but I like that book too. I don't read a lot of books. I wish I could read more, but I'm in an off again, on again book club, and one of the girls from my book club picked this book, and I absolutely love this book. So if you haven't read it and you like to read, I would highly recommend this book. I thought it was really good. And if you have read it, let me know what you thought about it. There are some book club questions in the back, which is always appreciated if you're part of a book club. But yeah, I have that feeling that you get when you finish a book and you're just in the habit of reading every day, and now you have nothing to read. And I'm desperately craving for something to read right now, even though I could be using that time to do something like clean my house. I need another book. So I've requested a book from the library called A Court of Thorns and Roses. Does that sound right? It's a series, and each of them start with a court of, but I just want to read the first book in the series. But that book has been highly recommended by a couple of friends as well. So I'm hoping that'll be in the library soon and I could check that out and start reading that one. But The Nurse's Secret was lovely and I highly recommend it and I enjoyed it. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm one of those people that don't want to know a thing about the book. Like, I don't even read the back cover before I start reading it. I just dive into it. So I'm not going to say anything about it, but I really enjoyed it. And I think you would too. And I think my camera's crooked. Okay, back to the eyes. Focus, Paula, focus. Okay, I'm going to go in with my lightest shade from my Maybelline Quad and highlight my brow bone. So the book club and I are still trying to track down a date and a time to discuss, which is ridiculous. I mean, we're all so busy that if we can read a book, it's a miracle, but then to find a date and a time where we can actually get together to discuss the book is almost impossible. So hopefully we'll be able to work it out. But like I said, I'm sitting at a pool for 3 hours a night. So weeknights are out. Okay, next I'm going to use the peachy shade from my Viseart Petite Pro 2. I just rolled this into my graveyard project pan with the goal of finishing it. Kind of a lofty goal, but I had already hit pan and then I repressed it and then I hit pan again. So there isn't quite as much product in here as it looks. We'll see. I have until Halloween. We'll see if I can do it. Maybe I'll just use a tiny itty bitty mirror here. I've really been having a lot of fun when I do my makeup in general, just mixing cool and warm toned shadows, because I'm trying to pan this silver base from Mary Kay. I have been using this a lot in different looks, but I'm really not in a mood to do an entirely cool toned look, unless of course it's just pink. I mean, I could do cool toned pink every day, but other than that, did you see that? I just booped my cheek with this eyeshadow. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where I touched it. I can't even see it. I'm sure I'll find it later. But yeah, I'm not into like a completely like grayed out look or gray and silver. So I've been having a lot of fun mixing these warm tones with that gray shade. Now, even though I have a very pretty coral in here that I could just reach for, I'm not panning that coral. I have another coral that I'm panning, so I'm gonna get that next. The coral I'm panning is this one right here in my Just Peachy Mattes palette from Too Faced. Is this too bright? Do I need to turn it down? Oops, that was really too bright. I'm sorry. I've been having lighting issues. Even though it's very sunny and pretty outside, it's very dark in here, so I'm trying to get the lighting right, and I think it was a little too bright. So I'm just gonna take that corally shade and bring it a little bit lower, like directly into the crease. Not that anybody will ever see it, because unless I'm walking around like this, nobody sees my crease. And I like to take that on my lower lash line with the same brush a little. So yeah, after months and months and months of just running to sporting events and not being home ever. Oh, also on the weekends, my kids are doing a 5-week running competition. So that's Sunday, that's every Sunday for 5 weeks. But basically I'm not home, and it feels like we're all home just long enough to trash this house, but nobody's home long enough to clean it. And ultimately the person responsible for cleaning it is me. So the house is a mess. I'm a mess. The school year needs to be over. It's time. Next, I'm going to take this duochrome shade from this Total Intensity trio, the Bold Trio eyeshadow in Fantasia. This is like a green brown or a green red. Don't love it, but I'm basically just going to apply it with my finger to the outer half of my eyelid, like so. I'm hoping that by applying it on top of that silver base, which is how I've been wearing it lately. I've been doing this look a lot lately. This isn't my first time doing this look. It's just kind of been a go-to while I've been trying to hit the uses on that trio. But I'm hoping that the silver brightens it up a little, because it just feels like a darker shade than I thought it was. Like that. So yeah, if you're wondering why I'm not on as consistent with my uploads, or why I'm not posting as much on Instagram, or why my nails are never painted, that's why. I'm not home. I wish I could paint my nails at swim practice, but you know, nail polish is kind of strong and I don't want to offend anybody. It's not, the bleachers aren't packed with parents. Most of the parents drop their kids off and go home and come back at 9 o'clock at night. I could do that. Sometimes I do that occasionally, but I have a lot of guilt about that because my son's only 9. There's 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds and 16-year-olds. There's kids all the way up to 18 in that pool. And I'm sure there will come a day when Ron is a little bit older, if he's still on the swim team, and I'll just be like dropping him off and I'll be like, I'll see you at 9. But he's only 9 years old. And I feel like that's a little young. And I think the other swim moms agree, like between there's 3 of us in all, there's me and 2 other swim moms. And I think we all kind of agree that at least one of us need to be there to keep an eye on just the boys. And like, if some, like one time randomly, Ron started crying, you know, and I would have never known if the other swim mom didn't call me and say, hey, I don't know what's going, but Ron's sitting at the side of the pool crying. And, you know, if I would have left and not had her there, I would have never known that, because it's not like the coach is running to me telling me every little thing. And it's not like Ron is running to me and telling me every little thing, especially if it turns out to be nothing major. I mean, obviously if it was something major and he needed like medical attention, they would tell me, but if he's just having a little moment, I don't know. I also just kind of feel like I can't get in the pool and swim for 2 hours next to him, but I could show him I'm supporting him by sitting in the bleachers, so that if he should look up and see me there, he knows I'm there with him. You know, like I said, it's kind of like, it's a very difficult sport. Being on a swim team is difficult. It is hard work. It is intense. And it is exhausting. So I just want him to know he's not alone. All right, I've been taking my Koosh ColourPop Super Shock Shadow with my finger and applying that to the inner half of my eyelid. Not only do I feel like this makes it a bit, kitty. Not only do I feel like this Koosh makes it, kitty! Not only do I feel like this Koosh color makes it a bit more light and wearable, but obviously I'm trying to pan this little sucker and get her gone. So putting it on the entire eyelid gets it used up a lot faster than just putting it on my inner corners alone. I'm going to go back in with the Fantasia color and overlap it a little, because I feel like I lost a lot of the green. I feel like it looks totally different out here than it does in the bathroom when I'm getting ready, but I don't know. Different lighting. These ring lights really do a number on you. They make me look much younger and much healthier, but it's artificial. I have been having some skin problems lately. I don't know what's going on, but I'm having some reactions to some stuff, and I don't know if it's, I know one of the culprits is the sun. I'm having a reaction to the sun, but I think there's something else going on as well. So with it being spring, we've had a couple of nice warm days. We've had some weather get up into like the 80s, where it's actually been like, you know, throw on a tank top and do some gardening weather. And I feel like in past years, I've had this happen where like the first couple days that I get a little bit of sun exposure, I can get a little itchy, like a little rashy and a little itchy, but then my body adjusts to it, and for the rest of the summer, I'm fine. Well, this has been like 4 or 5 times now that anytime my body is exposed to the sun, like whatever part of my body is directly exposed to the sun, so usually it's my arms, my chest, like right here, and so far it hasn't been my face because I've had sunscreen on, but I end up with a rash, and it's not just a little itchy, it's a lot itchy. Like I am scratching like crazy. I think there's even a video recently where I was just scratching my arms the whole time. This is my Sephora eyeliner, and I'm gonna apply that to my lower lash line. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it in the waterline or not. Sometimes I put it in the waterline, sometimes I put it like just under the waterline and put a black liner in the waterline. But I've been finally using this eyeliner a little. But yeah, so far my face hasn't been bothered by it because like I said, I have sunscreen on my face as part of my skincare routine. But last Sunday, I woke up. Was that Mother's Day? I don't even remember when Mother's Day was. But I know what I'm talking about happened last Sunday. So last Sunday I woke up and I thought, okay, I really want to get some annual flowers purchased and planted in my front yard, because my brother and I dug up my entire front yard last fall and planted a couple of plants that will grow into beautiful big things. But my front yard is pretty bare. after we took out all the old overgrown landscaping. And also the old overgrown landscaping was covered in lava rocks. So for the last 20 years that I've lived here, I've never really been able to plant anything because the lava rocks. And there was like one of those like weed protection tarps on top of the dirt. And I couldn't really plant anything. And I love the idea of planting annuals. So this is the first time in 20 years, because I bought my house 20 years ago, that I could plant anything in my front yard. So I woke up, went to Home Depot, bought some plants, and I came home and I was kind of like thinking to myself, by now it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, okay, I could go inside, hop in the shower, because I hadn't done that yet, because usually I hop in the shower first thing, but I was so focused on getting the plants that I skipped the shower and get some sunscreen on, or I could just get these plants into the ground. So I hadn't done anything to my face. I was still wearing my skincare from the night before on my face, but I didn't have any sunscreen on any part of my body. And I ended up, of course, in my head, I'm thinking it'll only take me a couple minutes to just plop all these flowers in the ground, just dig a hole, put it in, dig a hole, put it in, no big deal. But of course, I ended up being out there till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the brightest hours of the day. So my face got a little bit of sun too. None of it was bad. I wasn't like burnt, but I got the rash everywhere. I got the rash on my face. I got the rash on my chest. I got the rash on my arms. I think I am going to put the black eyeliner in my waterline. I'm still working on this Laura Geller one. It's not in a project, but it's just my go-to. I just love this liner. I'm going to speed through this so you don't see me digging around in my eyeballs. So needless to say, I was pretty uncomfortable, but in addition to having this itchy rash, my skin kind of swells up a little bit. And so the skin on my face doesn't feel as smooth as it normally does. It feels a little bit like, it actually feels kind of normal right now. I'm not sure if it's a product or if it's just from that sun exposure, but my skin feels a little bit bumpy or like ruddy or like thick. I don't know what the word is to describe it, but it doesn't feel like my normal skin. And I know with these lights, it looks pretty normal, but it feels a little funny. So I am really hoping that I will be adjusting to the sun exposure soon, and that like in previous years, I will just get over it. Because if I'm having a constant reaction to the sun, you might as well put me out of my misery now. Like, I live for summer. I live for being in the sun. I live for going to the beach. These are the things that make me happy. And if I can't do these things without getting a horrible itchy rash all over my body, it's over. Like, we're done. I'm gonna use some setting spray. This is not actually the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I saved this bottle after finishing this product a few years ago because the mister on this is delightful. What's actually in here is a setting spray from Kula, and it's almost gone. I'm normally a pretty religious 4 spritz user of setting spray, but the mist on this is so fine. I have to use like however many pumps. I just used a whole bunch. My mascara cocktail has been pretty involved, and that's because a lot of these mascaras are on their last legs, and they're going to be in my empties video for May. I'm retiring some of them this month, but I have my Essence Primer, which I love. I have this sample from Pure, the Triple Threat, which I like for my lower lash mascara, my lower lashes. It's a very, very tiny little brush. And then for my mascara on my top lashes, I'm using the last bits of this Marc Jacobs, is it the Noir? Velvet Noir mascara, which I have absolutely loved very much. I have this Guerlain mascara that I've liked. I don't think it's worth whatever it costs, but this was a free gift and I've been using it for quite a bit. I feel like the Velvet Noir is particularly good at lengthening, and the Guerlain is particularly good at volumizing, but because they're almost gone, and because I have revived them so many times with eye drops, I'm not getting a lot of volume or a lot of length. And because I've probably completely changed the formula with the eye drops, they both smear on my upper lash line or wherever if I get too sweaty or too hot or if it rains. So I do a coat of the Superhero mascara from It on top of it, and that keeps it locked in. Once these two are gone, I'll just be using, maybe I'll find something. I don't know, but I'm working with 5 mascaras every day at this point, which is a little bit extra, but it's going to be changing very soon. I just want to get every last drop of that Marc Jacobs and Guerlain mascara while I can, because those are pricey mascaras and I don't want to miss out on a single speck of product in there. So first I go in with the primer, prime the top lashes. This is almost gone too, and I think I still have one more backup before I need to buy a couple more. But I try to always have like 1 or 2 backups of this because it's super cheap, but I don't want to run out. I do like mascara primers. I listen to so many people say that they don't think it does anything, but I don't know. I love it. So my skin seems to be healing and looking a little bit better, but I literally had like a teenage breakout of little bumps along my entire forehead about a week ago. It was shocking and bizarre. I'm gonna go in with the little Pure Guy for my lower lashes next. But I don't think it's diet related. I think whatever was causing that might have been from a product. And I'm not sure what, because I've basically been using the same products for like the whole year. I've been using the same primer, the same BB cream, and they're almost gone. So I don't know why I would be having a reaction now. I'm barely getting any product off on my lashes at this point. This is going to be another goner. I feel like my shirt is choking me right now. Guerlain. With all these lights on my lashes, I could really see how much I need to just let go of these mascaras. Their glory days have come and gone. I just don't want to quit them. Velvet Noir. And then finally, Superhero, the one mascara that is not dried out and has not been revived a million times. There you go. The eyes are done. I should grab a lip product. All I have on right now is my lip oil from Ulta. Hang on. Okay, I just grabbed my little matte lipstick from The Balm and put that on. This is just such a nice color. It goes with everything, especially the shadows I have in my crease and transition area. And that is it. This has kind of been a go-to look for me while I've been panning this green shade from the Fantasia trio. I feel like sometimes when I do eye looks, I like seeing the different colors separated. I feel like with this one, when you look at my eyelid, you can't really tell what color it is because I have that taupey Super Shock shadow and then this duochrome green shade and then like the peachy corally shades in my crease. You can't really pick out what color eyeshadow this is, but I feel like it works together. And when I even though I don't love it from day to day, it's not like a go-to look for me. It's a go-to look because I'm panning it, but once I'm done panning this look, I don't see myself coming back to this look very often. But when I look back at videos while I'm like editing videos, I'm like, oh, my eyes look nice. You know, like it's one of those where when I see when I'm looking back at the video, I can appreciate the eye look more than when I'm actually doing it because I don't feel like it's anything special, but I think it still looks really nice. I don't know if that makes any sense. I am just blabbering on and on and on, you guys. But yeah, I think that's it for this Get Ready With Me. Thank you for listening to me. For those of you guys who like chatty Get Ready With Me's, I hope this is what you were looking for. This is definitely a little bit of a life update, but basically to sum it up, I am doing sports things with my kids all day, every day. I'm trying to do some things for myself, like stay on top of YouTube and reading books, but mostly my house is a mess and I have 2 more weeks until the end of the school year. And if I can make it, life will be so much better. My favorite time of the year is summer, not only because I like warm weather and because I don't have to work, but it's the little things like spending more time with my children and being able to wake up without an alarm clock and being able to eat breakfast on the couch while watching a video. That's all I want out of life. I don't need any fancy vacations. We're not going anywhere. We're not planning any big trips. I just want to be home and eat breakfast on the couch and then get into a routine of like cleaning and doing cooking more and just organizing and decluttering. Like I need to declutter so much. And I've been watching a ton of decluttering videos. I'm getting motivated. I'm getting pumped, but I need time at home. And in 2 weeks, I should start having time at home and I can't wait. So that's what's going on with me and my life. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.